if you recognize that theme, it's from the greatest TV show of all time, 24, and it's because this is our 24th episode of Rookies Roundup. It is 9:46 p.m. here on the West Coast, live from Los Angeles. It's Rookies Roundup. I'm your host, Jake Liker. We have Noah Taborda here as usual. We have Carl Moglen here as usual. And we have a guest here, a special basketball co-respondent. We haven't spoken to him in a while, but he is back. Ryan Ratnevet will be here breaking down the NBA with us. Tonight we're going to have a lot of debates, so it should be a good show. I'm certainly looking forward to it. So let's start with guests first. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jake. How about you?
I'm good. I'm always good when I'm doing the show. No, what about you?
Well, I am doing phenomenal, and everybody out there, ignorance is bliss. 24 is not the best TV show, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows that it's Breaking Bad. Shameless self-promote. What, Jake?
No, hold on. I haven't seen Breaking Bad yet. Someone spoiled it for me, so maybe whatever.
I'm only on season 3. Please don't.
No one spoiled it for Ryan.
Shameless self-promote.
Yes, you can shamelessly self-promote yourself after Carl introduces himself.
Okay.
Fine, I'm gonna self-promote myself. Actually, I'm gonna talk, and then I'm gonna... Never mind. I'm just gonna shameless self-promote myself in a numerous number of ways. First and foremost, follow me on Twitter at Carl_PM. It's with a K. And also, go like, let's see, College Football on Air. These are all on Facebook. Go like College Football on Air on Facebook, In the Crease with Carl Moglen on Facebook, 50 State Sport Update on Facebook, and me and Noah's new amazing show, that show you wanted to listen to.
The fact that I am not on this show, by the way, is something I do not appreciate at all. So don't like that show unless you can convince them to let me be on it. We will find a way, because that is what the loyal
Jake,
Rookies Roundup fan base does.
Jake, I would like to bring up a piece of evidence A. I guess I don't even know it. Let's see. I believe, it was yesterday. Where was it? Where is it? Oh, wait.
What is this evidence for?
You know it definitely talked to you about.
You talk too loud.
Okay, well...
Fine, Noah?
Jake. Self-promoting. Well, because Jake get a shot at us, why follow Rookies Roundup when you can follow Blake and Noah, LA to Chicago, or that show you wanted to listen to? Look, it's so catchy. We have Peyton Manning talking about his Omaha Audible, and a soccer player getting hit in the face with the ball. What better show can you have than that? And on our next show, we'll be talking about the Pro Bowl draft. So you definitely want to listen to this show.
I'm not taking a shot at your show. Your show was fantastic. That's why I want to be on it. Well, now I get to shamelessly self-promote myself. Follow me on Twitter at Jake Liker. 59 followers, including a reply from the LA Kings official Twitter account. Oh my god, this is the most exciting thing that's happened to me in like an hour. Yeah, it's kind of a big...
What happened 2 hours ago?
It's... You know what, Carl? I don't need to have you back on the show. I'm kidding, Carl. You are always welcome.
I own the show. Just accept it.
No, you don't. Like us.
Brock Osweiler owns the show.
Like us on Facebook, Rookies Roundup. I figured out a way to handle things on Twitter now and run multiple pages, so feel free to follow us on Rookies Roundup on Twitter. It's at Rookies Roundup. I promise you it's spelled how you think it's spelled. If you get spelled, don't follow the show. But no apostrophe. They don't do that on Twitter. Alright, well, that was a lot of shameless self-promoting. We are doing something special tonight. A lot of debates, but we also are talking about hockey. We are talking about the Olympics. We are going to party at the end of the show like it is 1994. If you watched the 30 for 30 on Tonya Harding, it got a lot of people thinking. We'll talk about that much later in the show. But yes, and if you want to be the 60th follower, please be my guest. And speaking of guests, Ryan, we get to start with you on this one as we get right into the show. We started NBA with the idea of Kevin Durant perhaps being the MVP this year, coming off a 54-point performance to defeat the Golden State Warriors. He's looking really good. Russell Westbrook's not even there, but you know what? They're still finding a way to get the job done. Well, you think Kevin Durant deserves MVP this year so far?
I definitely do, Jake. And think about it. The only real other contenders are maybe LeBron and Paul George. Both George and LeBron have more talented teams, and I think really actually just KD and LeBron. Kevin Durant's putting up 30 points a game. I don't think the last time that happened was 2009 with Dwayne Wade. Hasn't happened in 4 years, and also he's doing it with Reggie Jackson, Ibaka as his best players. Like, imagine how serious that team would be when Westbrook is out. And I think they're second at the West, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact that they can do that KD can do that without a strong supporting cast, really gives him my vote for MVP.
Yeah, I mean, he's come second so many times. Maybe this is finally their year. Noah, what do you think?
Well, I agree. I think Kevin Durant is definitely in there. I'd add one more name to that list of 3. I'd add LaMarcus Aldridge. I think he's been debatably one of the most important players this year, really. I think he's one of the big reasons they turned it around. He's really matured into being a leader. He's playing phenomenally. On the topic of KD, though, there's no doubt that right now he sits as the front runner. LeBron James has played phenomenal, but it seems like Kevin Durant has really took it up a notch and decided that this is going to be his year. He's not going to listen to the haters who say he will never win one as long as LeBron James is playing. I personally think that by the end, LeBron James will be able to creep his way back in. But for right now, Kevin Durant is definitely making a good case for MVP.
Carl, what do you think? As a Blazers fan, I'm sure there might be some objection to this, but 54 points against the Warriors, it's hard to argue with considering it is the Warriors' defense. I mean, maybe that takes some merit away from it, but there's no denying that he's been playing absolutely fantastic lately. What do you think?
I've really been impressed with Kevin Durant. It seems like this year he's kicked it up to another notch. The one problem with me, though, is he's got to be all around. And sometimes that's the reason he doesn't win these MVPs is because scoring champ is not an automatic MVP. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out because we have seen before that's not always the way to win the MVP. Obviously, LaMarcus Aldridge, I think, should be up there. But the problem is the statistics that a lot of voters go off are not quite there. Another guy to look at, Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Who's been phenomenal. Truly. If you look at Kevin Love's stats,
he has what?
He is remarkable.
He really has.
And I think he doesn't get enough credit for that.
Yeah, when you're going 25 and 13 a game, you're shooting 46% from the field. He's played 38 games, 36 minutes per game. It's not easy to get the job done when you're playing with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and playing in that market hasn't helped Kevin Love's career in terms of attention, but he deserves every single piece of praise he gets and more. In my opinion, however, I think the difference Kevin Durant has made on his team as of right now, I would pick Durant as MVP because he has made the biggest difference on his team, because he is finally playing. He has taken the next step. Can I say
something really quickly about Kevin Love?
Yes.
I disagree with you that doing it on Minnesota is necessarily hard. I think they have a lot of talent, personally. I think this team has the potential to be a playoff team. They're just not living up to it. I think Nikola Pekovic is one of the scariest guys you can see on a basketball court. Ricky Rubio has so much talent. Of course, we have Jose Juan Barea.
El conquistador de todo el mundo de España, yes.
Of course, yeah. And Kevin Martin. I think this team has the talent. I think Kevin Love is definitely the most important part of this team. But I look at this, and I think that this team has a lot of talent. So I think it's a little unfair to the Timberwolves to say that he's doing it, especially playing on the Timberwolves. I just don't think this team meshed right.
Well, yeah, and they're not winning games, which makes it tough to get attention, to get the job done.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Right, it's like it's easier for someone like LeBron or Kevin Durant or LaMarcus Aldridge when you're playing and you're consistently winning. It's going to get you more attention.
Yeah.
Whether it's fair or not. And maybe you can put some of that on Kevin Love. By the way, Rubio, no. He's averaging 8.5 points per game, 8 assists per game, 4.5 rebounds per game. Listen, and 35% from the field. I think Ricky Rubio should stick to chat lines, if you ask me. He's I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. he's not living up to what he needs to be living up to.
Well, he suffered a lot of injuries also. It's not easy when you haven't gotten enough time. You're trying to develop into a player. When you're young and suffering injuries is a lot harder than when you're older because you're still developing. You haven't reached your peak, and I think that slowed him down. I think Kevin Love also. I think Kevin Love would be even better if he hadn't suffered a couple of the injuries he did.
But, you have people who've gone through injuries and have tried to come back from them before. I don't know. I just wish Rubio could perform a little bit better. Moving on, from the MVP vote to the All-Star game, the All-Star jerseys were released. They look a lot like soccer jerseys, if you ask me, and they've got the sleeves. What do you think about these jerseys, Ryan?
They're horrible. They're not even good soccer jerseys. I wouldn't wear that. I don't understand why the people would wear that. Or the players. The NBA is just a marketing scam for them. It's not even. David Stern's approach to it, I think what he said earlier was, you can't really wear a jersey out to dinner or something. So the NBA is trying to implement all these sleeve jerseys as a way for fans to wear stuff like that. It's not a tank top. I just don't agree with it. It's a marketing scam, and they're going to use the sleeves to possibly in future years add them. I just don't. It looks horrible, and the players really don't like it either.
Yeah, most players don't like it. Even LeBron James spoke out about how he's not a fan of the sleeve jerseys. And knowing if LeBron says so, that means every NBA 2K game from here on out will never feature another sleeve jersey because, that's kind of his franchise now if you own that game. Carl, what do you think about these?
My big thing is, it's hard to say, but the biggest issue I have with these is they're only using them because they think they can make money off them. They are realizing not all fans want to wear a tank top, basically, which is the current NBA jersey. The sleeve jerseys are a lot easier to sell, just off the basic idea of that, but the problem is they're messing up with a shooting motion. Even if it's just a little, and if the stats didn't immediately show it, there is the issue that if you're wearing a sleeve, it's different than when you're in the tank top type of thing. So it's just, I don't like the choice. I feel like it's just hard on the players, and players have spoken out about it. So it's just kind of another way of the NBA being a little too profit-oriented, I guess.
Yeah, if you sorry, I'm just trying to pull something up here. Here we go. Darren Ravel tweeted after Christmas Day, taking just the teams that played yesterday, they shot worse in sleeve jerseys than they had the rest of the year. Not by much, just 0.3%. I'll post this graph on our page on Facebook and on Twitter. It's a field goal percentage by jersey type, and what I'm seeing right now is not a huge difference or impact on performance at all between these. However, I still am not a fan of how they look. I especially cannot stand these. They look like soccer jerseys. That's the problem. They look like soccer jerseys. If they wear oversized gloves, they look like a goalie. It looks like they're trying to move an MLS team to New Orleans. It's terrible. It is. If it was a soccer jersey, it'd be good. But otherwise, I can't stand it. I'm sorry. It's bad. It's an eyesore. No, what do you think?
Okay. First of all, I like the colorways. I've always loved that green and blue. And this reminds me of the Raptors when they really used the purple and red. Those were some of the best jerseys, in my opinion. One of the best colorways. But the sleeves, I don't like them. Don't take shots. You're taking a lot of shots at soccer jerseys. I love soccer jerseys.
Soccer jerseys are fine, but not for basketball.
From the marketing standpoint, I understand what they're doing. But even though the percentage is down, players have said it bothers them. Even if they're not doing worse, they don't like it. And when it comes down to it, if it bothers them, so even if the percentage shooting is so low, what happens if the one time it really affects them is on a game-winning shot? I mean, it's astronomically low that happens, but what if that's the one little bit, an important shot, and that's that one little percentage difference? Look, I don't like the jerseys. I like the colorway. I understand the marketing.